category by category. For those of you who produce beers and spirits, for a long time now, you've lived with very low profit margins. Low for everybody. For the retailer, the only person who really gets money out of beers and spirits is the government, with their huge duties that they charge. Because those industries have a low profit margin, there is just not the lust to invest in private label factories and facilities. There's not the interest from the retailers to develop their private labels in this area, because there's just not enough money to justify it. Personal care, it's a little bit different. For the men in the audience, if you've ever asked your wife what does she pay for a hair coloring or her shampoo, I'm almost sure that you got the response, mind your own business. It's nothing to do with you, and it's nothing to do with how much money we're spending. We can afford it, I'm worth it, blah, blah, blah. We'll feed the kids private label porridge oats, but I'm not compromising on any kind of beauty product. That's just how the world works. So very difficult for a retailer to break into that category with product. Also, it's quite difficult in cleaning, because you're going to invest some money anyway in these cleaning products, and you really want to be sure that it works, and the branded products have a superior performance over cheap stuff that you've bought in the past. I'll tell you an interesting story which just shows you how smart the consumer is. When Aldi wants to enter into a new country and it's not 100% sure, it sends the executive who's supposed to make the recommendation and do the spade work, it sends them to live for 10 days with a typical family in that country. So I got to go and live in the Czech Republic with just a typical normal family. The husband was a train driver, the wife was a teacher. The average salary in the Czech Republic is about 800 euros a person, and the costs are as high as here if you live in Prague. So it ain't an easy life. You know what I found this very smart lady who was a teacher doing? She bought the best washing powder on the market. She bought Persil, and she washed her husband's shirts and her best clothes in Persil. And for the bed sheets, for the kids' clothes or whatever, she bought a cheap private label one, and she washed other products in that. I mean, how smart is that? When you really think about that, she was prepared to buy two products and just do different jobs with them, because she didn't trust these expensive shirts, because he had to buy his own shirts to sit on this branded train and be a train driver, and she was making sure that they didn't get in any way compromised. That just kind of proved to me how smart the consumer is. Pet food, really difficult category for private label operators. Why? Because you can't taste it. You don't know what it's doing. Is his hair going to fall out? Is the cat going to be happy? Better not chance it. Give the kids the porridge oats. We'll see. They'll tell you if they're yuck. But the cat, no. The cat gets whiskers. Cooked meat, paper, it becomes a little bit easier. Dairy, well, there was an interesting slide from Helen earlier about milk that tastes nice. Can you taste the milk in your tea? Can you, bugger? Can you taste the tea in your porridge? Can you, bugger? If you're going to drink milk, I understand it. So I can see why, for different missions, people will buy a cheaper product, because it just gets used a little bit differently. And the real target of the private label business, the dry and tin packaged grocery business. If you can copy something, if you can really produce something reasonably easily, then private label is going to be camping on your front lawn.